I studied the example problem showing how to simplify expressions with 0 and negative exponents. Then solve problems 1 through 12. Y'all should have found this one really easy. I hope. 0 exponent is the first example. 217 to the 0, the entire base will become 1. So 217 to the 0 is just 1. Negative exponents, 15 to the negative 2. You have to make that a fraction and flip the reciprocal to change the negative, which gives you 1 over 15 squared. Now, show of hands is how we're going to do this. Simplify 100 to the 0. The base becomes 1. How many got it? I'll take it. Number 2, write negative 32 to the negative 2 as an expression without a negative exponent. The base is negative 32. We make that a fraction. We will flip the reciprocal of the fraction to get 1 over negative 32 to the positive 2 exponent. There's where my parentheses went.
Is it alright if we just put 32 squared?
No. 32 squared would not be the same. Notice that the coefficient, or the base, negative 32 is still negative. The only thing that changed was the negative 2 exponent is now a positive 2. If you can't read that mess, here it is neater. How many got that? Good. Number 3, write 1 over 7 to the 6th as an expression with a negative exponent. They want us to do this one kind of backwards. They want us to change it from a fraction to a whole number with a negative exponent. If you will flip the reciprocal of the fraction, the exponent becomes negative again, and it becomes a whole number. How many got this one? Good.
What if you put 7 to the negative 6 over 1?
Still correct. Number 4, compare 8 to the 0 and 8 to the negative 2. Which is greater? Explain your reasoning. How many of you think 8 to the 0 is greater? How many of you think 8 to the negative 2 is greater? Okay. 8 to the 0 is 1. 8 to the negative 2 will become a fraction, 1 over 8 squared, which becomes 1 over 64. So which one is greater, 1 or 1 over 64? It is 1. It should have been 8 to the 0 is greater than 8 to the negative 2. Okay, 8 to the negative 2 is not a negative number, but it is less than 1. It is a fraction. Number 5, simplify 12 to the 0 times 12 to the 6th. Write your answer using an exponent. Explain how you found your answer. We are multiplying. This would be our product rule. We're going to keep the base, 12, and 0 plus 6 is 6. Or you could have said 12 to the 0 is 1, leaving you with 12 to the 6th. Two different ways, same answer. Number 6. What is the value of x in the equation? Negative 35 to the x equals 1. They want to know what exponent will make this base become 1. That answer is 0. How many got it? Good. Number 7. Write an expression using exponents that is equivalent to each of the following expressions. 5 to the negative 3, the equivalent would be the positive version. 1 over 5 to the positive 3. Those would be equivalent. Equivalent means equal. Negative 16 to the negative 2. When we write that as a positive exponent, that negative 16 will remain negative. Make it a fraction. Flip the reciprocal. The exponent becomes positive. 1 over 8 to the 4th. The equivalent value would be the negative exponent reciprocal, which is a whole number, 8 to the negative 4. Number 8, simplify the expression 52 to the negative 5. then write it as repeated multiplication. Simplify, they want you to get rid of that negative exponent. 1 over 52 to the positive fifth. And then as repeated multiplication, they mean expanded form. That would be 1 over 52 times 52 times 52 times 52 times 52. And that would be your answer. Number 9, write an exponential expression that is equivalent to 4 to the 14th to the negative 2. We're going to make that exponent positive. Actually, I'm going to use the power rule first. I'm going to say 4 to the 14th to the negative 2 is going to be 4 to the 14 times negative 2, which is negative 28. Now I will make the exponent positive. 1 over 4 to the positive 28. Number 10. Is 6 to the negative 2 positive or negative? How many of you think this will be a positive answer? How many of you think this will be a negative answer? 3 people. Let's try again. How many of you think it will be positive? How many of you think it will be negative? Okay. 6 to the negative 2 becomes 1 over 6 to the positive 2. 6 times 6 makes 36. Now, that is a positive 1/36. It comes out to a decimal. Comes out to 0.27 repeating. Now, is that positive or negative? That is positive. Keep in mind, a negative exponent does not mean that the answer is negative. It just means that it is less than 1. Number 11. 9 to the 0, 9 cubed, and 9 to the negative 2. Put those in order from least to greatest. Let's start with the easy one, 9 to the 0. Now, 9 to the 0 equals 1. 9 cubed would be the same as 9 times 9 times 9. 9 times 9 is 81, times 9 is 729. And then 9 to the negative 2 becomes 1 over 81. Which one of those is the smallest? One over 81 is the smallest, so 9 to the negative 2 will be the least. And then we're deciding which is smallest between 1 and 729. That one is going to be 1, or 9 to the 0. And then the last one, the largest one, would be 9 to the 3rd. You could have made your decision with them in exponential form, or you can change them over to numbers you can compare. It doesn't matter to me as long as you're getting the right answer and you put it back in exponential form in your answer. Number 12. Elizabeth says that negative 12 to the negative 3 equals a positive number because the product of two negative integers is a positive integer. Do you agree? And use what you know about exponential expressions to explain. How many of you agree with Elizabeth? How many of you disagree? We will try again. How many of you agree with Elizabeth? How many of you disagree? That's a little better. All right. Elizabeth says that because the product of two negative integers is a positive integer, that it will be positive. But are we just multiplying two negative integers? The answer is no, we are not. We are multiplying 3. When we make the exponent positive, it makes it a fraction. Does not make it negative, but it does make it a fraction. Then if we did repeated multiplication, it would be negative 12 times negative 12 times negative 12. Now, these two negatives absolutely make a positive. That makes positive 144. But because there is a third negative factor, 144 times negative 12 makes our answer, I believe it's 1728. It is. Negative 1728. So is the answer positive or negative? It is negative. So Elizabeth was incorrect. When you're dealing with exponents, even exponents will give you a positive answer. Two negatives make a positive. But if they're odd numbered exponents, then you're going to have that third or that fifth or whatever come in and make it negative again.